Okay, let me start. So I basically recorded the tutorial for my friend, which is in Mandarin, so I don't really want to re-record in English, so I'm just going to watch over it and kind of do a dub over, if that's fine. So let's start with, okay, let's, let me mute. I don't think it shows, so it's fine. So basically, let me hold it. So basically, I will follow this tutorial by Grayscale, roughly, and the other tutorial by Mana on the wiki, but I don't really refer to them a whole lot because I kind of re-recorded this twice, so I already know what to do. So I will mostly refer to this diagram. This is a very useful diagram to reference like what fields correspond to what and what needs to be the same. So if you are troubleshooting for your ArchiveXL, which is a very big issue, like you cannot really pinpoint what problem you have. You can only just do a thorough check of similar like sections of things. So I will recommend you refer to this diagram for that. Okay, so let's continue that. Okay, I will explain. So basically, the tutorials all take vanilla items and then edit them to fit your custom needs, which is the easiest, honestly, because if you build an item from scratch, you will need to fill in all the extra details. So I recommend do that as well. Oh my god, I did that. Wait, one moment. Okay. Okay, so I'll follow the Grayscale tutorial in adding all the required files. So the first thing is unscreens.json under this path, which, assuming you're doing English version, I mean technically it doesn't matter because you're editing it. They are the same thing, just different JSONs, but yes. Stop it. Okay. So just add that to your, oh my god. Did my thing just freeze? Jesus. Let me reopen it. Sometimes Windows thing does that. I don't understand why. Okay. And then yes. So the CSV uses the closing.csv file. Yes, add it into your project. And then it's the mesh entity, I think. Yes, this one. This is the app file, and this is the mesh end file. Oh wait, that's the root end. Actually, I thought it wrong. This is the root end, and this the one I'm searching for is the mesh end. So you will need an app file, root end, mesh end, and then all the linking files like CSV and localization and stuff. Technically, you don't need localization, but it's good, always good to have like names and description for your items. And now you just copy. Depends on your folder structure. Like for me, let me do that. Oh my god, you froze again? Seriously? Stop that. I mean, I would actually just show it to you for now. here if I can open it. So this is what I like to do. So ignore these two. This is the base file I have. Let me just, because I just did this. This is the base file folder, my own folder. So you can rename it to whatever you want, just your username in front of whatever you want. And then go inside. This is what I like to do. I put app file and app folder, end file in this, both the mesh end and root end, and then the mesh. But I put textures inside just like CDPR do it. It's up to you really. I like it like this. And then this is the CSV icons. These are the icons, and then the localization, like names and descriptions and stuff. Okay, let us continue. Yes, so this part is just copying everything and then rename it to what you want, whatever you want. Okay, that's what I did. So if you don't have, like, you only do one version, you only need one mesh end, but if you do both versions, you can just duplicate it. I think I did duplicate it. Did I? Yes, I did duplicate it. Oh, an important part is I don't think you can share mesh ends. Like, for example, if you are making a top item like a shirt or something, a vest or something, you need to use a top item mesh end. Like this one is the Judy end. Wait, actually it works. Because for the let me think. Adding new items. I remember there's a troubleshooting with this one. I'm not sure. So yes, it says use the end file that corresponds with, but I use the top end for my shoes, but it works. So I'm not sure why. But just if you can, just use the same type of items from the original game. That'll make sure everything works fine. Okay, so just duplicate it and rename it. That's what I do. Yeah, these two also rename it. Now we will start with, I forgot what I start with. Yeah, root end, start with root end. So open this. You'll see two, it's male and female. First is the app file, so you can right click and copy the app loop path and put in. Oh, I had a little hiccup here with the thing. Let's skip actually. Oh my god, that's fine. Yeah, so basically you just edit in the app file path, and then the appearance name needs to be the appearance name in the app file, like the name in the app file. And then, yeah, let's look at the diagram. So this follows up to the YAML. The appearance name corresponds to this, and this, the name part, follows up to the I'm not so sure about this. Like, wait, actually, let me see. This name is weird because the display name is for the localization, so I'm not sure if it's the same, but yeah. So let me show you what I have. So for me, I like to use like the same kind of names under here, just so it's kind of organized, but I'm actually not sure what this corresponds to. I think it is a CSV. It might be. The diagram might need updates, honestly. So yeah, so I cannot give confirmation about this, but to be safe, just put it as the same thing. And if you are doing both male and female, you will need to add this. But if you are not, then you can just do this, I think, and then delete the underscore. Because why am I doing the underscore? Because if it is male, let me show you the app file. The app file will have this, so it will auto like convert it so it reads the M as the male version. So yeah, that's why you want to have an underscore. But if it is just female, I think it's just this. Yes. Yes. So the implemented appearance name. What I like to do is use the same naming convention, so you won't have a later on the problem of like you don't know what has problems like this. Yes. Yeah, so the behind part is the so-called suffix. Suffix part is like extra stuff that you tell the game to do. You can read more on the, I think there's a section here. Suffix, yeah. Are you using any suffixes? This is the part. The most important thing, I think, is the male and female part. The other parts you can try to do. Yes, this one. Yeah, like cameras, first person and third person and stuff. That's just fine. Partial, I'm not sure what is this. Oh, hair type. If you are doing hats and stuff, you will need the hair type stuff. Okay, so that's like that. Okay. Yeah, these are the suffixes. For me, I do both things in first person and third person. But if you are doing like a glasses or something, you might need to not do third person. So you need to add the FPP suffix in. Yes. Yeah, you don't need to separate if it's just clothes. Yeah, so that's why I do the naming convention. And it becomes easier because if you are doing later on, you will need to do different color variants. Then you just need to paste in the like appearance name inside, and then everything is good. So that's why I do this. Yeah. So if you are doing a male version, you just do underscore M and everything, and it's fine. And for me, I like to do female version up top because generally female version is the default in the game files. So yeah, that's why I do it. Yeah, we ran into a little hiccup again about this. Just a little problem. It's fine. Yeah, so the M part is also a suffix. So let's skip. I think that's not very important. So move on to the app file. So delete the default. I tried to edit the default before, but it broke the file somehow. So just delete it and leave the two gendered versions left. Yes. So delete the components. All the the previous. You can just leave them in there, but for me, I like to delete them just to make sure it's not weird or anything conflicts with your things. Yes, the resolve differences you also deleted. Okay, now it's all clean. Now the name corresponds to the root and name. Yes, root and name. That's why I did that. Add a parts override here, and then parts resource, add mesh and path inside. Yes. Component override, add one, and then the component name needs to correspond to the mesh end name. So these are all interconnected. Yes, that's why. The same naming conventions. And the mesh parents, the first one we just do default, so that's fine. So the parts value also do the mesh end. So you should have parts resource mesh end and then parts value mesh end. The same with the mail version, we can just skip. I think. Yeah, so for this one, that's what you use the same naming convention for this. So when you go to the mesh end, it is the same name. That's easier to remember and edit to make it simple. Same. Okay. That's all. Now we save the app. Now to the mesh end. You need to edit both because you can just first edit one and then duplicate it after editing, which might be easier, but I didn't, so I edited both. Copy the mesh path inside the mesh. And the name need to correspond to the mesh and not app name. Yeah, you can see component name links to the mesh end name, so that's why it needs to be the same. The same here. I don't think. Yeah, the same thing. Okay. Here. Okay, I should talk about this. Yeah. So for some of the mesh, if you want to hide parts of the sub mesh, for example, my vest. Let me show you. I think I have this here. Yeah, for my vest, you will see that there's pins over here, and I only want to enable the pins in the first appearance, and then the rest I want to hide them. So this is where the trunk badge will come in handy. I think it's in the app file. Is it? I remember it's in the app file. So let me open here. Yeah, it's in the app file. Is it? Yeah, okay. So in the app file, the corresponding appearance name, like for example, this one, I don't have because the pins are the fifth sub mesh. submesh 5. So I disable the 5 here. It will generate a new chunk mask. But for the default one, it is the full one. Yeah, it is the default one. It's all ticked. That's how you do it, how you hide part of the submesh of when you want to do it. Yes. Okay, now it's on to CSV file. Delete everything but the first one. And leave the first one. This is linking to the root end, and the top part is the root end name, I think. I also need to refer to the oh, YAML entity name. So these are linked together. Yeah. So put it in, and that's all. CSV is pretty simple, and you don't need to edit it much. Okay, so localization. Do not open this part because there's a lot of entries. Just right click and delete all entries, and then just create a new one. And now the default, because in the game default is female. So if you are using both name and description for female and male, then you use the female variant part. But if you want to use two different names or description for female and male, you input both and it will show correspondingly. Yeah. So basically, yeah, you use the secondary key in the YAML. It will take the key inside and find the localization string and then load the string. Yeah. So the secondary string, secondary key needs to be the same in YAML. That's what I like to do. So for the front part is the appearance name, and the back part is just like name, description, and stuff. Yeah, if you want to use different names for different variants, then you have to add a new section here. Yeah, like that. Basically, I just put that's the name, and then make a new one, and description, paste in, and that's what I like. DSC for description. That's all. So everything, we edited everything. Now we need to edit the extra script files like Excel file and the YAML file. So I don't really like to use the tutorial says you need to create a new one, but the hard part is Excel and YAML file use indentation, like the spaces. Is a very important thing. But if you create a new one, you might not know how to do the spaces and indentation. You might have it wrong. So what I like to do is just copy existing one. Yeah, that's what I'm showing here. If you add it, it's empty. And Excel files. Yeah, the space is very important. So basically, I just go to Mana's tutorial. There's a but I'm not sure where this is because I'm using an old version of the tutorial. But yeah, so basically, it might still have the resources. Yeah, okay. I already copied over it. So these just copy over here and then just edit them however you want. Like, yeah, just rename it. Open them. You can use Notepad, or I like to use Notepad++, but you can also use like VS Code and other text editors and code editor and stuff. Excel is easier, so we edit Excel first. So just, yeah, copy the CSV path, then replace this. Don't touch the space from the first part, and just like replace the entire path. And then the same thing with this, don't touch the space, and then replace it. Now you have my file. We can delete the extra one. We can, if you want later one, you can just copy the entire section. I usually reference them as sections of code. Like this is one variant, so I just copy one and paste it later, so it's easier. So this is the top part is CT code. You might notice that like C code usually start with items dot whatever. That's why. So that's the CT part. So it needs to be unique. So I would recommend adding your like username and your unique identifier into it, so it doesn't like might not conflict with others and stuff. So yeah, that's what I do. This username, and then just my items at the back, and then I like to do like item and colors. Okay. So yeah, I use this. So the base, you have to use like according to what you need. This basically places the item in the equipment section in the game. So for the head, it will place it in the head slot, and so on and so forth. And it also has other attributes. I think if you put it in the wrong slot, it might be a bit weird or something. I'm not sure, I haven't tried yet, but yeah, choose the corresponding one you want, basically. Yeah, mine is foot, so I copy over the foot and replace this. But I need to refer to the other diagram. Diagram points to the CSV, so go back to the CSV and copy this and paste it. The diagram is very useful. Branch name the same, and root end, so copy over the root end, which is here. And open this one. The end part is the, yeah. So if you are doing like both the variants, then you add an underscore here. But if you are only doing female, I think it is only just without underscore. But I haven't done female only or male only, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what I do. So I'm not sure. It should be that. This works for me, so I've been doing that here. The same name is in the localization. I mean, also in here. No, that's the localization. I'm not sure about the diagram. I think it needs update. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that corresponds to the display. Yeah, that corresponds to the localization. I don't know why. Maybe the diagram has a little issue. Description is just description. Yeah. You can use the quality, you can change the quality, like common, uncommon, I don't know, whatever you want. Oh, right, important thing is if you want to do both gender, you need to put in appearance suffix, like put it inside here. I'm pretty sure the space doesn't matter, but the example has it, so I just put it like that just to make sure it's fine. So for the icon, depends on if you want to do it like different gender, different icon. If it's the same icon, then it's pretty much easier. Yeah, but I ask like ArchiveXL's developer. I forgot the name, to be honest. Actually, I forgot how to pronounce the name. So yeah, I asked him how to do a different gender, and he basically said you need to create like a new entry, and then it corresponds to that. I will show it here. Yeah, so this is the different icon. Because this uses the same icon, right? So this section is the entity name section, closing, underscore, entity name, underscore, and appearance name, underscore, and then the suffix. So suffix, if you have like TTP and FTP, then you also need to add it in. I'm not sure how, but I've only done this like this before. Yeah, and like the type is UI icon. This is the same as normal, just icon stuff like this. This is like resource path, include address path, and the in part name stuff. Yes. So we can just delete it for now because we will add it later. Okay, everything should be fine. I'm not sure if it is because of the version, but if I directly pack with the YAML and Excel in my project, it gives me an error. So I need to manually copy it. Yeah, so Excel file goes into the mod file, and the YAML file goes into R6 scripts and tweaks. The tweaks, you can make a new folder inside. So if you want to keep everything organized, you can make your own folder and then put all your YAML files inside. That works as well. Yeah, that's what I did. I followed the example of gray cells. The previous version, it uses its own individual folder inside, so that's how I know how to do it. Yeah, the example template. Okay. Okay, now everything should be fine. Also, you need to pack the this is where I'm an old ass modder. I like to use the client to pack my mods, but if you just want to directly use this and then install or just directly pack and copy over, you can also do that. I just basically did my own stuff here. Yeah, that's what I like to do. Because the good thing about client is what I do is I use WormKit as a kind of editing software, kind of like Notepad++ and stuff. But I copy out, because WormKit, if you want to export something, it adds to your project. But if you pack, it packs all the project. So what I like to do is have separate packing places and just pack with my client with just the files I know I will need. and it will have all the organized files. So I just exclusively use Wolfgang for editing and stuff. Yes. Yeah. Let's go in game and try. And let me see. It should. So this part is I go back to my YAML and copy the item code. I think. Let's see. It's a bit of a drag. Come on. Yeah. This code. Basically, I just copy here one thing, one command, and just replace it with my own code like that. That's how you input the CET code. Yeah. And it should spawn just fine. Pardon me. Yeah. Now it's here. Good. Very good. It appears just fine. Okay, everything is good. Now, if you have any problems, I would suggest go to Mana's troubleshooting section. It has a very useful part. Like, it has different sections, but the problem is ArchiveXL has a bit of a issue. I always get stuck on the mesh is invisible part, which is the biggest problem, and you have to just check these sections. This is the, yeah, I spawned my item, but it doesn't appear. Like, I input the code, but the item doesn't appear. And this is just the localization. Yeah, item spawns, but this is relating to a whole bunch of stuff like root and app, and this is the easiest to mess up. So usually you land out here. And basically you just need to check over and see everything corresponds to everything and looks fine. It should be fine. Just follow the thing, basically. Yeah. Okay. It has the glitching. Basically just follow the troubleshooting. I shouldn't need to tell more about this. Okay. Now we move on to adding a new appearance. So, adding a new color, you need to edit YAML file, app file, and root end file. And if you want to add a new name and description, you also need to add it localization. But that's it. Yeah, that's about it. I'm dilly-dallying. Yeah, so let's start with root end. Just duplicate one, and then, for example, I'll just make sure about my appearance. Like, the first one is black matte. So what I like to do is just put an underscore black matte, and then the same thing with this underscore black matte. Like, keep it simple and the same kind of format, and then you will have less issues. App file, the same thing, duplicate it, and you only need to edit the parts override appearance name and the name, this part and this part. This is the same, but it basically loads the different skins of the mesh, if you can say that. change this measure prints. Yes, I forgot to change the name. I will change it later. I will figure out later. Just a lot of tedious editing. Yes, now I realized I forgot to edit this. Yeah, that's what I do. This is the like the item name, and then appearance name, and then that. This is the same. Okay. Personally, I like to put the same appearances together, but it's up to you. You can drag it and drop it whatever you want, wherever you want. It's just easier and just more tidy. I like it. Yeah, I also realized I forgot to duplicate. I edited the original one. That's fine. Just put it together. Everything should be fine. YAML file, let's copy one. Copy, make sure the front part doesn't have any spaces. This doesn't have any extra spaces. And then edit the item code to what you want. Like for me, I just follow my format of item name, appearance name. Yeah. Just making sure you need to change the entity name, if I remember correctly. Oh, you don't need to. This is why you need to refer to the diagram. Yeah, so just input the appearance name, the mesh root end part. For me, I like to use different names and different descriptions, but it's up to you. You can use the same if you want. So we also need to go to localization and duplicate one for the new appearance. Yes. Also, afterwards, my friend told me, oh, it's not M-A-T-T, it's M-A-T-T-E. My English is not that good, so I had to replace all of them. Good thing you can export to JSON and just edit it in text editor, like search and replace. Or it's kind of a big thing to edit it section by section. Yeah. So now I'm just packing. You can just directly use pack if you want to. I'm just stubborn a bit. I'll go into the game. Now I'm just copying the code. It's nothing special. I think I ran into a little trouble because it doesn't appear because I'm a little silly. I didn't copy the item in front, item dot in front, so that's why I ran into this problem. I spent a bit of time troubleshooting it. Yeah, now I realize I copied the wrong thing. Yeah, so make sure it is the right item code, or you will have spend 10 or 15 minutes troubleshooting for nothing. So now just go into game. Every time it's just dig out. Now it appears just fine. Look at it. It's the black matte. Is it? Oh, I copied the wrong code here. No, No, I copied the wrong code here. Okay, now it appears just fine. Very well, it appears just fine. You can see here, it might be blocked. I will zoom in here. Okay, it is black. Very well. So next is this is adding a new appearance. It's pretty easy, just a little bit tedious work, especially if you have a lot of appearance. So yeah. Now next is, I think, icon. That's, I'm talking about icon. I will talk about it with my old one because I haven't shotted all the new icons for my shoes, so I'm just going to talk about it with my old one. Bit easier. So just open this. Icon basically has ink address file and XBN, 2 files. That's easy. So for me, I downloaded this one, the grayscale's template, but Mana also has a template which is provided by a, I think it's, what is it? I forgot. Someone's texting me. So yeah, I basically used this template. I forgot who provided the template. Oh wait, actually, I should talk about it. So if you open this, you'll have, there's different sections. This is 1 item template, 5 and 10. Up to you which one you want. You can also have multiple, like for example, if you have like 19 variants, then you can use 2 10 item templates. So it's fine. You don't have to have it all in one single one. Like I used the 10 one, like 2 of the 10 ones for my vest. Yeah. So I open into this. Each section corresponds to an icon, like section. It's the first slot, second slot, and so on. Let's just go over. Yeah, I already have one. So this is how I do. Just align it in the middle, different colors. Yeah, just disable the background, and then I forgot if you have to flip it, but you can check like afterwards after you import, so it should be fine. Yeah, I think I had to flip it and then save it and import because I forgot to turn on the flip option. But that's fine. You can just, the most important thing is you need to edit the ink atlas parts. Texture. This you need to add it to your because the template will have the same path as the template, so you need to edit it to your own XBM. So ink atlas, like ink atlas only says like this section of the texture is this slot. That's what it does. So it points to your XBM, so you need to do that. Yeah. So just copy the path and just add it here. Yeah. I couldn't find a preview here. I recorded another thing over here in a bit. Yeah. I'm not sure why I couldn't see the preview? Like the XBN should all be edited just right. It's a bit weird, but yeah. So basically, you just need to make sure that these two are the same path, and then after you save and reopen it, it will appear. So let's see the same part. Open it, opening Atlas, and you will see a port mapping. Open it, and then you can see all the slots inside. You can make sure here that the rotation is correct. If it is like flipped vertically and stuff. And now this section you will see under here, there's slot 1, slot 2. This corresponds to the YAML files, which I will explain in a little bit. Yeah, I'll explain here. You can also use this as reference. Like the PSD does show. Yeah, this corresponds to the slot 1, the first slot, second slot, third slot, and start. Yeah, so it already tells you what to do. For me, I use different version, like this is female, this is male. You don't really need to do this. I'm just a bit, this is my first ArchiveXL, so I kind of want to just learn everything and how to do things. So yeah, this is the female, this is male. So this is slot 1 and slot 6 and so on. Just input the corresponding icon inside. It'll be fine. Yeah. 1 6 2 7, because this is female, this is male. This is the path. If it is if you are using the just sharing the same, then you can just input it down below with the template. It will show how to do it. Yeah, it's the same principle. Why did I do that? Alright, of course you have to first have an icon to do it, but you have to shoot like icons. The most easiest thing is install. There's a green screen mod you can install, or you can use PMU for that. And then there's an invisible character mod. I think it's linked in the grayscale tutorial. Yeah, green screen. The green screen, like for my shoes, they reflect, for the shiny ones, they reflect the green screen very sharply, so it has a green tint. So I had to use different kind of backgrounds, like black ones and gray ones, so it doesn't have the green thingies on the side and like light reflections. And then I just added an NPS. So yeah, that's what it basically you need to do. You just try to make it better, and then I do PS in for color correction and like removing the background and stuff. Yeah, this is the invisible character mod. So yeah. I'm just complaining about new Steam UI. Yeah, so basically I think I'm starting a new game. Yeah, this is I show how I do it. So I have a preset here, but because you'll see that it has a kind of weird reflection and lighting, I think I didn't set up the light right. So I had to move my vest to like the middle area so the light is better, and the green isn't too obvious. So I had to move this one. Yes. Yeah, I was adjusting it with this slider. You can also just save your preset with like the proper middle and then just use that. Yeah, it's up to you. Like you can see these have a little reflection because this is like not as shiny, it doesn't reflect too much, but for some items you might have really obvious things you need to fix in PS or use a different background. Yeah. What I like to do is if you use a different background, make it the same preset so it is the same space, so you can use like the cutout of the green screen. If it makes sense, you just cut out the green screen and copy it on and select everything, and then just kind of like a reference thing, so you can directly cut the place. Like for example, if you this is a black vest, right? If you want to avoid the reflection, so you use the black background, you cannot easily select everything, like the only the background. If you use the Magic Wand tool, it will select like the inside. So what I do is with a different one, like with a pink one with the green background, and I just click these and copy over to the other one, and click these and select the black one and delete. Like the same places it will delete. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So you basically just go into PS and delete the background and change the colors. That's about it. I hope this is good. This is the first time I did a dub. I'm not sure how I did, but I think for future tutorials I will still record English first, so it's easier for me, honestly. Because I think dubbing is a bit weird, because I need to listen to myself first and then understand what is happening. So yeah, hope this is helpful. That's all.